Today on Summit Private Brand Review, we're going to cover some of the latest harmonic balancers hit the marketplace for you LS guys out there. First, I want to talk about the features of all these balancers. All these balancers are going to have the same basic features. They're not really built differently from one another. And then we'll kind of get into the applications. For starters, I want you guys to know that these balancers were really designed with the bracket racer in mind. Meaning that we know that a bracket racer has a tendency to need a stronger harmonic balancer than what the OEM is. So these balancers are made out of carbon steel instead of regular cast iron or cast steel. The other thing is they've been tested up to 12,500 RPM, meaning that you can buzz these things pretty high before you have to worry about them ever coming apart on you or it being a problem. The third thing is that they're 18.1 SFI rated. So they're going to pass any tech inspection at any racetrack for the most part. Thirdly, they are all engraved with timing marks on them. What you'll notice in the late model, especially late model world, is that most balancers don't come with timing marks on them anymore. That's because timing's all controlled by the computer. There's not a lot of adjustments to be made. Well, we understand that for our customer, a lot of us are doing carbureted conversions, or we do want to mess with the timing. Therefore, we have put timing marks on these so that we can make sure that the timing is set exactly where you want it to be. And the lastly is that these harmonic balancers still accommodate the factory serpentine belt setup. So there's no worries about having to change the belt configuration on your vehicle or any of the way that the belts are lined up on that vehicle. So for you guys that are new to the LS market, one thing you'll notice is there's a lot of different harmonic balancer applications out there for the LS engines. It's not like your old small block Chevy where there were basically two versions of balancer, internally and externally balanced, and that was it. Yeah, you had to worry about diameter every now and then, but it really wasn't that big of a deal. For the LS motors, it's a little different animal. You'll notice that I have 4 different harmonic balancers in front of me here, and they all look a little different from one another, and these do all fit different LS engine applications. I'm going to start here on the left with our 2500 and 2502 balancers. This balancer right here is designed to fit Camaro and Firebird and LS2 GTO applications. The Camaro and Firebird applications, you got to make sure you had an LS1 for this one. So it's going to be your earlier Camaro or Firebirds. One thing you'll notice about the 2502 is that the 2502 is considerably smaller than that 2500 series. The reason being is that this one here is underdriven. So for you guys that are looking for an little extra power on top of more durability, the 2502 would be the way to go. The next balancer on the list is the SUMC 2503. This balancer fits Corvette applications that would originally came with LS1, LS2, LS3, LS6 engines. It also fits Pontiac G8s that would have came with the L98 or LS3 engine as well. This one here on the table is the underdrive version. You'll notice that it has a much smaller front ring than it does a back ring. If you wanted the non-underdrive version, it is available. It's going to be the C2501. It essentially looks the same as this balancer, except it's going to more closely resemble this balancer over here. That's the same dimension all the way through. The last balancer on the list is the SUMC 2520. This is for your GM truck applications. It fits with the 4.8, the 5.3, and the 6-liter. This balancer here is only available 25% underdriven, and it will also include a new alternator pulley as well to keep your amperage up. So the last thing I want to mention are the required parts to complete the installation of one of these harmonic balancers. For a lot of you guys out there, you know that you go out and buy an average or basic harmonic balancer installation tool and it works for pretty much everything. LS motors are not that way. They do require a specific harmonic balancer installation tool like the one I have here in front of me. There are a few part numbers out there depending on which engine you're working on, so you want to make sure you get the right one for your specific application. And you also want to buy a new harmonic balancer bolt. A lot of the hardware on an LS motor is going to be torque to yield. Torque to yield meaning that once it's been torqued down once, it's no good anymore. The harmonic balancer bolt for the most part is one of those bolts on LS engines, so you want to make sure you purchase a new one. So that's all we have today for Summit Private Brand Review, and thanks for watching.